All right, we'll get started. Like I said, on Tuesday, I'm just going to go over the design practice. You do have one more. I lied. Paul Rand. All right, so you go, you're going to click on it. We're going to download it. There it is. I'm going to open it in my downloads, of course. For Mac, I double click. For PC, you right click and hit extract all. It's going to extract and then it's going to create a new folder just like it is. So you'll have the zip and the regular folder. And this is an InDesign file. So I'm just going to double click on it and it'll pull in InDesign. Now, as somebody else said, oh, they're getting harder. Yes, they slowly get harder and harder. So I got to bring in, looking at this, I have the bottom piece. We don't need a top piece. I have the text and I have his name. I have to bring in 1, 2, 3, 4 images. And so I'm going to start with photo. Use layers. If you're not using them now, start using them. I know students are always rushing projects and but I just got to get it done. But it's this thing of if you start to use them and you take the literally 2 minutes to make them, you'll make your life so much easier in the end. And if you start early, like now, like I'm teaching you now, it'll make things so much easier on you. The reason being is you'll get to points where your designs will be fairly complicated. You'll be like, why can't I get to this one thing on my design? And it's because it's all built into one file. These do separate out, but I don't use the layer sublayers. That's even worse for me. I don't have a good one. Oh, you see when I put in examples, it's it sublayers everything out. I don't think it's a great way to work because then you just have everything still in one layer, but you're just kind of faking it. So, all right, let's drop in his photo. I'm gonna go to File, Place. And the photo is just this guy here. And I'm gonna go to Downloads where I put it. Double click on that, double click on links. And I'm gonna prphoto.png. That is his photo. So no matter what you put in, you'll have it. This is that paulrand.jpg. That's that background, which we don't need. And I'm gonna do just the photo. Here he is. Now he came in big. So this is where you use plus and minuses while holding a command key to zoom in and zoom out. Zoom out so you can see the whole thing. And then the secret sauce is with the free transform tool, which is E, or you can hit E. I've yet to get in that habit of just hitting E. Now, when I make it smaller, I'm holding down Shift. Never not hold down Shift, except for in Photoshop. Photoshop, don't hold down Shift. Why is it reverse? Because they're dumb. But so you can just make it smaller. I'm going to move from the pointer tool, and then I'm going to get it in this corner, and it's going to snap into that corner. There's a margin there, the pink line, and it wants to snap to that. So just use it. Snap to that. And then again, if I press E, you'll see if I press E, it goes to the right. I'm going to hold down Shift, and I'm going to make it, it's blurry. I do this on purpose, but it's usually the first pixel is a good one to go to. And that's the first piece photo placed in. Then I'm going to go to examples. And this, you can do all three at once. And I'm going to zoom out again. Again, quick keys. I'm using quick keys. Command minus, Command plus. Look when you're doing stuff. If you need to go up here and zoom in and zoom out, then just look next to what it is. So you start using quick keys all the time. The Command 0 or on a PC it's something 0. It's always the equal, minus, and 0 are usually always the same. It's just the command key is different. Command 0 is the one I don't even know how to do it. Going up to view, I just always Command 0. Boom, boom, done. It's ingrained in my memory. Just like undo. Undo should be ingrained in your memory. So I have locked out all other layers and I just kept examples open. I'm on it. I'm going to go to File, place. And I'm going to take example 1, 2, and 3. You can hold shift, you can hold command, like more than one way to grab all 3. I'm going to hit open. And again, it gives me the icon and it says 3. That means I have 3 images. And I'm just going to go 1, 2, 3. There we are. Now we have to do something funky with these besides make them smaller. So I can grab all 3, 1, 2, and 3. And I'm going to go up here. I'm going to make it quick. Up here is a percentage sign. If I type in 50% and hit enter, it'll make all those images 50% smaller, just a little bit more workable. Now I have this image, easy. I can get it. I'm going to line it up with the black there. I'm going to hit the E and I'm going to hold down shift and I'm going to bring it down to its size. Perfect. Now I did the middle one, which means the other 2 will follow. I'm going to take this image. I'm going to lock it in next to those 2. So when I say lock it in, again, it's that when I get it near and I bring it in, it wants to go to the guide. The guide turns from pink to green, and then the other side turns to green. And it means that these corners are perfectly aligned, those images. So don't mess with that area. Go up and pull from this area. So I'm going to make sure I'm on E, and I'm going to grab and hold down shift, and I'm going to stop right at that purple line. So if I stop at that purple line, now look at these. I think I have a jog, so I have to adjust. I have a little bit of a jog there. So I'm going to pull the, I bet you if I make this smaller, got to zoom in. You got to look at these things real tight. There's a little bit of a gap. So I'm going to split the difference. I'm going to pull that one to there. And then I'm going to click on this one and do to E. And I'm going to pull this one to here. And I'm going to get them as close as possible. If I go down, I can even get them equal and then just move this guy over a smidge. And that way, when I zoom in, like I'm talking like you can get this. I'm going to zoom in. Oh, it's got a little black edge. You can get it absolutely perfect. Oh, I'm pulling Z. I know what I did. There's a little white showing. I didn't realize that was showing. But it's all about like zooming in. Get it precise. There's no reason why you shouldn't be doing things exact, especially when the computer's like, oh, you want it exactly there? We can do it. Zoom in. Oh, it took me 2 seconds. Yeah, whatever. It's precision, you're a designer. Now, this is the tricky picture. But what about all this stuff? What about all this stuff? This is the difference between using the select tool and the free transform tool. The free transform tool, as we know, will transform the size of it. But if I go to the direct select tool, and I always like to click off and then click back on, I can change the size of the box and crop it out. This is a really nice feature. So I can then make this box. I'm not going to use shift or anything, but I'm going to zoom in and I'm going to make sure like when I pull this side, I'm just like right to that edge, right there. And then I'll move it over and I'm going to drag this one in from the edge until I'm right there, you know, like, and it crops it. This is called cropping. I wish you could do this in Illustrator. This is so nice. And so that's what I did. I cropped it. But you crop it using the select tool, not the free transform tool. I know it gets complicated, but that's why we're starting now. We used to not start this until later on. And then I'm going to lock it in again. And then I'm going to go to free transform. I'm going to scale it down. and then I'm going to scale it back up and get it to meet. Get it to meet right there. Oh, see, I was on the wrong tool. Got to watch that change up. Something I do often. And then we zoom out. So now all these are placed. They're in a row. They all line up. There's a little room for, error in there purposely. And then the rest is just like you all have been doing. We'll unlock everything except for this one. I'll turn that off. Well, I can keep it on. Put the red box. Line that up. I made it perfectly the right size. We're going to talk more about all these terms later on, but this is bleed, and you need to start using bleed in your life. We taught that too late in some classes. I got the Paul Rand lined up. I got the text lined up, and the text just fits in. Somebody did this really good and clean. Like, it's like 1 pixel off. And then we turn that off, that background. Click off of that. And then we can export. So that's how you do the images. So the only one that's tricky is the no way out. I guess that's why I did that one. There's no way out. But it's a combination of cropping and sizing, which is just the standard that you'll have to start doing. And that's why I only had you do it on one. So there you go. That's the big explanation on how to set that one up. Any questions, comments, or concerns on how to do that? All right, cool. Well, that's it. That's it for today. That was the big one. I just wanted to have this separated out, and then people can come in and they can use the computers and knock this project out. There you go. You know how to get a hold of me if you have any questions, comments, or concerns. Yeah, we're about halfway through. End of next week is halfway through the semester. Yeah, so we're getting there. Cool. I will talk to you all later.